I spent the last year following the rich and famous around with cameras, and I've used almost every single popular camera in existence. I've shot for some of the biggest creators in the world, and I help people get millions of views every single day. And the question people ask me the most is, yo, what camera should I use? So today I'll be ranking the best cameras to use as a content creator in 2026 under $1,000. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one you need. I'm gonna rank these cameras based off of 4 metrics: how easy they are to use, their camera quality, how versatile they are, and of course, price. Starting off with the DJI Osmo. Now this is probably the most user-friendly camera on the list. This is one of those cameras you can kind of take out of the box and use it immediately. It's a super simple camera. You can shoot vertically, you can shoot horizontally. It has a built-in stabilizer, so all of your shots is gonna be super smooth. And personally, I don't think you can really go wrong with this camera. One of the biggest upsides to this camera is it's so small. It's small enough to put in your pocket, you could take it anywhere, and it feels way less intimidating to pull this camera out and record yourself in public. And honestly, that reason alone is enough to make it the best camera to get as a beginner content creator. If you're a content creator looking to record yourself, this is probably my top pick. Now in terms of price, this camera is going for $419, and if you get the creator combo, which comes with a microphone, it's $539. This camera is a great camera to get you in the game if you're trying to start vlogging, you're trying to start taking your social media content seriously. The DJI Osmo, especially at this price point, is probably one of the best pickups you can get. Before we get to the next camera, I want to mention something. I know that this whole video is about cameras. However, I need y'all to know that cameras are not the most important thing when it comes to content. The most important thing is your ideas and your content strategy. I started off as a YouTube editor. I was editing for different YouTubers, and over time they started coming to me for ideas. I became the person that all the YouTubers came to say, yo, what should my next video be about? And it's the ideas that gets them a million view video. It's their strategy that gets them a million view videos. It's not their camera. I've watched creators invest into top cameras, invest into top editors, and still not be able to get the views they were looking for, because it's not about the quality of your camera, it's about the quality of your ideas. I help people go viral on social media every single day, so if you need help with your ideas or you need help with your strategy, click the link in my description and let's hop on a Zoom call. All right, next we got the GoPro Hero 13. Now, this camera isn't really a traditional content camera. This camera is more for like on the go, okay? If you're gonna be on dirt bikes or going through the woods, or I don't know what people do with the action content, but if you're gonna be doing the action content, this is gonna be the camera for you. Now, I had to throw it in there because at this price point, it just makes sense to be on this list. Now, this camera is going for about $500, and it has amazing stabilization. You can shoot in 4K 120. This is crazy quality packed inside a tiny little box. I don't know that I would recommend it for most content creators, but if you're gonna be doing something that requires a lot of action, sports, dirt biking, something that will be in a Red Bull commercial, this is gonna be the camera for you. I wouldn't recommend anybody get this camera over the Osmo if you're looking at the similar price point, unless you're doing action content. Also, this camera has a super wide lens, so it's not really practical for a lot of types of content. I should also add that this camera, as well as the Osmo, aren't the best in low light situations, which means if you're in a dark environment, you're probably gonna need some good lighting or some decent lighting if you wanna be seen, especially if you look like me. Now the next camera is a little controversial for me because I'm not really a Canon person, but the Canon R50V is a great, well, let me not be biased this early. The Canon R50V is a good content camera. I saw this camera come out earlier this year, and I was really impressed by what this camera offers at this price point. Now, what's interesting about the Canon R50V is you can change lenses. That's dope because you can buy this camera body and continue to upgrade lenses, and down the line you can upgrade to a better camera body and still use the lenses that you purchased. Now this camera is not as user-friendly as the first two I mentioned, but this camera is a great entry camera if you want to get serious about cameras. If you want to understand the settings of a camera, understand how to manually adjust a camera, if you want to get a cinema camera down the line, or shoot short films, or just get a better camera in general, this is a good entry-level camera because it's going to teach you everything you need to know to use those higher tier cameras. So the cons for this camera is, 1, there is more of a learning curve like I mentioned, but 2, this camera is more on the expensive side as compared to the first two. The Canon R50V is going for a whopping $800. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this is a good $800. Like, I really enjoy this camera. Now, the difference between the first two I showed and this camera, along with a long list of things, is you can get more of a cinematic look on this camera. The first two, you can't really get that shallow depth of field, but with the Canon R50V, you can actually get some of those more cinematic looking shots. This camera also shoots 4K 60 cropped, and it shoots 1080 120. So it's a pretty versatile camera. You can use this for your Reels, TikToks, you can use this for your YouTube. You can use it for pretty much anything technically, so I think this is a really good camera. I think this camera is a great camera, especially if you're looking to get a higher quality camera down the line. This camera is going to teach you a lot of the things you need to know to use pretty much any camera, so I think it's a great pick. Next, we got the Sony ZV-E10. Now, this is the most expensive camera on this list, coming in at $850. Now, similar to the R50V, this camera has interchangeable lenses, which means you can basically put any Sony E-mount lens on this camera. It is a crop sensor camera, so you'll have to get crop sensor lenses, but similar to the R50V, if you learn how to use this camera, you'll pretty much know how to use any camera, especially if you want to dive deeper into the Sony line. Personally, I shoot with Sony cameras. What I'm shooting this video with right now is a Sony FX30, and I'm biased, but I love Sony cameras. This would probably be my pick for anyone who wants to dive deeper into higher quality cameras down the line. Now, the quality of this camera is top tier. You're gonna get what you pay for. I mean, you can't really go wrong with a Sony. And in terms of versatility, this camera, you can really shoot anything with. This camera is probably my personal favorite on the list. Now we have one more camera left, and I want to emphasize, I know that this video is about what cameras to use, but you do not need an expensive camera to make good content. The last camera on this list is your phone. I help people with social media every single day, from streamers to musicians to businesses, and you can get millions of views on your phone. Whatever dream you have, you can make strides towards that dream with your phone. You don't need to go buy a $1,000 camera and a $500 lens. This phone can get it done. I want to encourage anybody out there who's creating content and looking at cameras to just get more creative with this phone. Like I said, the quality of your ideas and the quality of your content strategy is what's going to make the difference. I know people who have $10,000 cameras that can't get 1,000 views on social media. If you're trying to grow online, the biggest thing is connecting to the people. You have to make content that is either relatable or aspirational or just dope. The tough part about social media is it's not just about what you're doing, it's about how you present it, right? So that's kind of what I work on. I help people not only understand the cameras, but I help them present their content in a way that actually gets views online. I just had a client who's in the credit space. He helps people get money from the banks and stuff like that. He was averaging like 2,000 views on social media. I told him, I'll 10x your views or you don't pay. We were about 5 videos in and we hit about 3 million views. Like, views went through the roof because he was already dope. He just needed a new, fresh way to present it to the world. And 9 times out of 10, you're already dope. You just need a better way to present it to the world. You don't need to buy a camera. You can stop window shopping, pick that phone up and get creative. And like I said, if there's anything I can do to help y'all, click the link in the description. We can hop on a Zoom call and I can help you make your first viral video. That's pretty much it for this video. Let me know what y'all want to see next, and I'll see y'all in the next one.